If you want to win games of chess, you need to know how to give checkmate. And there's another series of videos teaching you how to do that. But checkmate is easier if you can take your opponent's pieces. You need tools in your toolbox. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use a tool called the pin. So, what is a pin? Let's put some pieces on the board to find out. Okay, just a few pieces so that we can see what's going on. The first thing I want to highlight is that the black rook and black king are on the same diagonal. Let's look at what white can do with the bishop. Let's see what happens when the white bishop moves here. The bishop has moved to attack the rook. The question is, what can black do about it? Can black move the rook away? Now the bishop is attacking the black king. You can't put your king into check. Black has to take this move back and find a different one. The rook isn't going anywhere, and the white bishop will be able to take it on the next move. So pins can be powerful. In this case the rook was stuck, but sometimes the pinned piece can move. Let's set the same position up again, but let's swap the black king for a queen. This time the black rook and black queen are on the same diagonal. Let's play the same move with the white bishop. Does this make any difference? You can't put your king into check, but there's no rule stopping you putting your queen under attack. Black can move the rook out of the way, but it's not a good idea. The rook is safe, but white can take the queen. In this case, even though the rook can move, we still say that the rook is pinned, because a more valuable piece is behind it, shielded from attack. Pins can happen on ranks, files, and diagonals. Whenever you see two enemy pieces on the same rank, file, or diagonal, think pin. As we can see, a bishop can pin along diagonals. A rook can pin along ranks or files. Here the black rook pins the white knight to the king. The knight can't move. And a queen can pin along ranks, files, or diagonals. Here the white queen pins the black bishop. If the bishop moves, the rook is lost. Knight attacks can't be blocked, so knights can't pin enemy pieces, and kings and pawns can only attack pieces that are one square away, so they can't pin enemy pieces either. So a pin is a way of trapping an enemy piece, and sometimes you can take the piece on the next move. But even if you can't take the piece straight away, a good plan is to attack pinned pieces. Let's look at this example to see what I mean. In this position, the black knight is pinned to the king by the white rook. The black knight can't move, but the black king defends the knight, so it would be silly for white to take the knight with the rook. How can white take advantage of the pin? White moves the pawn to attack the pinned knight. As we know, the knight can't move. White now attacks the knight with the rook and the pawn. Black only defends with the king, so white can take the knight on the next move. Let's have a look at some more examples. In this position it is white to move. White spots that the black pawn is undefended, and thinks about taking it with the rook. What do you think? Let's see what happens. Okay, the blunder alarm has gone off. Can you spot why white's last move was a mistake? White's king and rook are on the same diagonal. Have you worked out black's move? The bishop moves to attack the rook, and the rook is pinned. It can't escape. Black will take the rook on the next move and win the game. In this position, it is black to move. Black spots that the white rook is undefended, and thinks about taking it with the queen. What do you think? Let's see what happens. Okay, the blunder alarm has gone off again. Can you spot why black's last move was a mistake? Black's king and queen are on the same diagonal. Have you worked out white's move? The bishop moves to attack the queen, and the queen is pinned. It can't escape. The black king moves to defend the queen. But white should still win this game. In this position it is black to move. Have a good look to see if you can spot the opportunity to use a pin. A rook is worth more than a knight, but in this position black can take the knight with the rook. Black has taken a knight worth 3 pawns, and white can take the rook worth 5 pawns, either with the king or with the queen. See if you can work out what happens. Can you spot how black can strike with a pin? White's king and queen are on the same diagonal. The bishop pins the queen to the king. OK, that's bad for white. But what happens if white takes the rook with the king instead? Can you spot how black can strike with a pin this time? Again, white's king and queen are on the same diagonal. This is bad for white too. All the examples so far are made up. Do pins ever happen in real games? Let's look at a couple. It is white to move. The black rook is attacking the white bishop. White doesn't want to move the bishop, because then black will win the pawn on f4. So white defends the bishop with the rook. Can you spot why this is a blunder? What happens if black swaps pieces on e4? There had to be a reason why black gave up a rook for a bishop. White's rook and king are on the same diagonal. So black pins the rook with the bishop, and black can take the rook on the next move. In this position, it is black to move, and black spots an opportunity to win a pawn. A discovered attack on the white knight. Can you spot what black missed? The black bishop is pinned to the king. It must stay on this diagonal. So white attacks the pinned bishop with the queen. And now the bishop is pinned to the queen. It's totally stuck. Black had no way to defend the bishop. So white was able to take advantage of the double pin and finish the game quickly. A discovered attack on the queen and a powerful attack on the king. So what is a pinned piece? A piece is pinned if moving it would put a more valuable piece or square under attack.